the next day. And remember, there's like that old saying, if you're telling the truth, you never need to remember anything. Well, it seemed like Chris needed to remember a lot. But Max was like, sweet talking, old buddy, old pal, you know, trying to become his confidant. You know, just like, the one person you might not want to be your confidant is the victim's brother. But, hey, he tried. It actually worked. Now, a few things about Chrissy. One being Lee must have been absolutely at her wit's end. She must have been desperate to go and speak with him and meet up with him. Now, Chris had been like kind of Facebook stalking Lee for a time after they became friends. They became friends on Facebook. They didn't really know each other in person, but Chris would like, you okay, hun? Liking her fucking status, everything she posted, any pictures supposed like it's like, you know, when you get to know, it's like, oh, that person's liked everything I've ever done. That's weird. He was like messaging her as if he wanted to be her white knight, you know?
I can fix you, babe.
Weird. There's a lot of weird about Wade, actually, so it's a good thing his name rhymes. In high school, Max had heard, like again, they were in the same year, but they weren't friends. Probably because Max had heard some weird shit about Christopher Wade. Apparently Chris would keep journals about, you know, fantasizing, about capturing and keeping women as sex slaves, and that sort of thing. Chris had spent time in the military. It was something he never really spoke of very much, not for the reason a lot of people in the military don't speak about it. No, his reason for not speaking about it was because he was discharged. What happened while he was in the military was that he had told a psychologist, an army psychologist, that he had tried to kidnap a woman while in high school. Yeah, twice. He literally attempted to kidnap, molest, and murder a young girl while he was in high school. He even attempted it. He even attempted it twice. Like, it's not just like he thought about doing it. He broke into their home where a young girl was living to kidnap her. And both times he got into the house and he got scared off. One time by someone who was going to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, so he ran. Another time by a dog. So the military were like, out, and when the police searched his place, they found he was a peruser of a violent child.
Oh my god.
You know. He also enjoyed wearing women's underwear. I mean, hey, I guess I'll don't knock until I try it. I'm good though. I'll stick with my boxer briefs. I'm good, thanks. And one thing about Chris was that he adored tarot cards, the old Major Arcanum or whatever. He loved deciphering his destiny, reading out these cards. He obviously wasn't reading them close enough because he deciphered jack shit about what would happen. He sat down once with Max and with Jesse. See, what happened was that Max felt that Chris was going to tell him something. So he called Jesse, who flew from Maryland, where he was in rehab. And so Max and Jesse were like, listen, we're going to confront Chris. He's not going to tell him about himself, so he needs a bit of prodding. Chris, Max, and Jesse, they sat down in this city park in Westminster under the pretense of, hey Chris, do your tarot reading. Maybe we can decipher something about what happened to Lee. Give it a go. The police were actually there too, watching Chris, but nobody knew it. So Chris got out the deck. Let's see if we can find Lee. Max recorded it all on his phone.
Air, earth, fire, water, spirit. Pentacles. The deck could be saying about some of the perceptions of me, or it could be just indicating that there's a sense of paranoia about it.
During the reading, Max confronted Chris. Tell us what happened to Lee. And he did.
Chris, we just really need to know, man.
I know.
Look at me right in my eyes. Dude, where is she?
I don't know where she is right now.
You know what happened.
I can tell you.
We can tell you.
I can tell you.
I know.
Where is she? Chris, please. They're gonna find out, man. They're gonna find out eventually. It's gonna eat you up. They're gonna know what happened, man.
You know it's the right thing to do.
I know.
Chris.
I won't hold grudges. I won't hold it to you, man.
We will forgive you.
I will forgive you.
Okay.
You tell me right now what happened to my sister. You know what happened to my sister.
Yes, you have every right to be angry with me for...
Just tell me.
for lying to you, and
I'm not angry with you because
Yeah.
you're about to tell me where my sister is. Tell us right now. Start talking, please.
I'm
I know
trying
it's
to
hard.
find. I know,
Just start letting it out, man. I know it's
Okay.
hard. You gotta let it out right now. I just need to know.
Okay, the first part of my story was right. She did text me and asked to come over because she was feeling really depressed.
Yeah.
We went out and for a while we were talking.
He said she came over, they hung out, sexual relations began.
She wouldn't do that, dude. She wouldn't do that. Chris, stop lying. She wouldn't
I'm
do
not
that.
lying.
Okay. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Keep going, buddy.
They had sex, and then he said she asked him for drug money. He said no, and so she came at him with a stabber.
And I turned, grabbed her, stepped forward and twisted her around so that her body was in between me and the knife. I placed my hand at her throat. I didn't start squeezing until after she kept going. Said, "We can end this right now. I won't say anything to anyone. Just please drop the knife." She said that she would stop when either she was dead or if I agreed to buy her drugs. I started squeezing on her throat and I ended up cutting her. And I dropped her. She landed on the floor. I turned her over to check and make sure she was still alive. And I checked the pulse and didn't find anything.
Where'd you put her body? Where's your body?
I'll get to that. Just please let me
Okay.
finish from...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I did the only thing I could think of, and God help me, I put her in the dumpster. Heck, I wouldn't have believed it if I had told it to me. I will be turning myself in to the police. I will tell them...
No, you're going to jail right now. You think I'm just going to let you walk away and drive away? You killed my sister.
At this point, Max jumped over the table and started beating the ever-living shite out of Chris, which I think we can all agree is well-deserved. We got some good digs in. They then forced Chris to call 911 and confess. Confess he did.
911.
Yes, I'd like to confess to a murder.
Okay.
The case is into the disappearance of Lea Porter.
Chris called 911, but the cops were already there, watching, and arrested him.
Right now, the search tonight for the body of Lea Porter. Her high school friend is sitting behind bars linked to her murder. Christopher Wade turned himself in to Westminster police last night. Police searched his apartment twice and today sectioned off part of a public landfill in connection with the case.
We have some good leads on where Leah's at, so we're out looking for Leah. We want to bring her home to her family.
I don't know why. Like, I just got, like, so emotional hearing that. Like, it's just so much more real when, you know, here they are recording it. And you could hear it in her brother. Like, just begging because I don't care who. You could be the Dalai Lama for all I care. If somebody killed your little sister, you are not going to hold back. I don't care how many times. I don't care if you convince the living ever shit out of somebody that won't do anything to you. I promise. Just tell me. Just tell me. And if they came out with some shit like that, I don't. Yeah. I felt like crying, man. Rest in peace, and I hope you find solace and peace in your heart. To her brother, her mom, and her family. And I hope that piece of shit rots in hell. And for the ex-boyfriend, you fucked up her life by introducing her to heroin, and you're just as much fucking liable for her death as what the sicko did to her. You know, you made her goddamn desperate, and while you're off at a freaking recovery facility. Why isn't she off there with you? You think she was just gonna give up because you gave up? 9 times out of 10, because I used to work with people like this, and I don't pass judgment upon anybody but you right now, because the little beautiful girl is dead because of what you fucking did. You would have gone and recovered, been off the shit, got past your, you know, the days where you feel like you're gonna die, like when you have the sweats and all that stuff, and then once you get past that, you know, what, they keep you there another month or 2, and then start learning how to live life without the drugs, and then you come back, and then you see that she's still the same way, and you're gonna fall right back into it. Without that little girl going with you or getting into something similar with you, if she needed you that much, which she obviously didn't because she didn't go with you. She could have found, I mean, there's tons of programs in Denver for stuff like that. And especially for women. Especially geared towards women. And you're just as much liable for killing her as he did. So more than anything, my condolences to her brother and her mother.
He was arrested then, and the police would search and search and search the dump. Chris, Chris, he said he put her body in the bin. Must have been taken to the dump. I mean, her stuff was found there, so her body should be near, but it wasn't. Lea Porter has never been found. That was his story anyway. Many people, including Misha, do not think that is true. He pulled it out of his arse. He could have buried her anywhere in the surrounding lands. Colorado is a big state with a lot of empty. She could be anywhere.
Now, the family of Lea Porter says they are not getting the closure they want after their daughter was murdered. The man who says he killed her, Christopher Wade, did agree today to a plea bargain that will send him to prison for 48 years.
And so, with no body, Christopher took a plea deal and accepted a second-degree murder conviction. He got 48 years in prison. He will be in his 50s by the time he's up for parole. His story is obviously so full of shit, but it's the only one we have. And so, until otherwise, or Lee's body is found, they had to be taken as the truth. And even to this day, the Porter family is still searching for her. They, as I do, think he is making it up. His story is a complete bollocks. There were reports, there were witnesses. Chris's neighbors said that on the night of the 3rd of June, early on the 4th of June, probably around the same time he was getting, the bleach and the gloves, a van was seen parked outside his house. Not his van. They believe Chris may have had help disposing of Lee's body, somewhere in the vast Colorado mountains and woods. Multiple searches were done, but nothing located. Not yet, anyway. To date, anyway. And Chris is in prison where he belongs, looking like an absolute psycho. And Lee is still out there. Who knows if she will be found. It's an amazing story, though, of a brother, getting his sister's killer to confess to what he did. It's unbelievable. Unfortunately, what he said happened is about as believable as this. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you taking the time to be here with this guy. Hope you found this video interesting. As always, you can check me out on Twitter and Instagram. You can subscribe. You can do all the things. Or just scream Mike at the TV. And I'll see you soon. Alright, here, listen. Please take care of yourselves. Go on. And remember, I love ya. Mike out.
That was hard to watch, man. I don't know, something about it at the end just really hit me. I hope that dude burns in hell. Once again, good job, Mike, at bringing these stories to us. I know they don't always have the happiest of endings, but you're one hell of a content creator, and I know a lot of us appreciate it, so thank you. So all the way here from Colorado, good job on this story, man.